Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Sunny and welcome to my video about MCM Comic Con 2018 October. Well, shit. My mic wasn't recording, so it's using the rubbish mic, so sorry about this. I'm going to just tell you my full experience, how I felt, photos I got, and people I met, just all of it, and any tips if I can think of any. I'm not even going to bother with hair. I drove home this morning, I scanned the photos, that's all done, so now I'm ready to talk and then go and eat. So I've never driven to a convention before, and I thought I'd drive this year because I wanted to go in cosplay so I could take as many bits and pieces as I need to. I also had room to bring any merch back, and I could bring my cooler so I could have fresh milk and cheese and stuff. I was staying at a Loft, which is the hotel that's pretty much on the XL in London, and I drove there, and the hotel sort of set up a parking space for me because I was so anxious about parking there. I thought it was going to be full up, but it ended up being fine, and I just parked as normal. And I was really ill. I got there on the Thursday. I was there for 4 nights, and I was so ill. I was being sick, but luckily on the Friday I woke up and I didn't feel that bad. I've been to a few different conventions before, and it's usually sort of done differently. There's things wrong with all of them, and there are things right with all of them. With this one, their website was absolutely rubbish. The FAQs, half of them said, please check this with the venue, please check blah blah blah, when their admin should really be collecting all that information. So, does this year's venue have Wi-Fi? Please check this with the venue here. That's something they should find out. They should make sure, instead of thousands of people having to check with the venue, one admin could have done it. But there was a lot of things like that, and I had a problem with my cosplay. I've never done cosplay before, so this was my first time, and I was checking the rules in full to make sure that it would work. And they had 2 rules that contradicted each other. It's about their wristbands. With a weekend wristband, I wanted to make sure that I could wear it over my skin tight suit and either cut it off or take it off at the end of the day, because my suit was going to be underneath it. But it turns out you're not allowed to take it off. But the other rule that contradicts this is the one that says your wristband must be visible through the whole weekend. It must be visible on your left wrist. So how does that work? And what I ended up having to do was have zips put in the wrist part so that I could get them in and out. But it turns out at the convention they didn't actually check. There was one of the days I entered when they do the bag search, nobody checked my wristband. That's actually happened twice. And the way that they've sort of worded everything on the website, for example, FAQs, can I have a selfie with my favourite guest? And it just says no. Okay. Any explanation? They could have sort of elaborated for people that haven't been to conventions before. Our guests are really... I don't like the use of guests as well, because we're guests. We're the fucking guests, bruv. You're the celebrities. And I also had a really big problem with the sort of customer service. I've seen a lot of people whinging about this as well, so it's not just me. When I sent them an email about the thing that contradicts the cosplay wristband on show or not taking it off thing. Basically, it needs to be on your left wrist, so the suit is on top of it, so it's not in sight. So which rule do you want? You can't have both. And I didn't get a reply. Well, sorry, I did get a reply. I got a reply that said someone will be in touch with you. And then there was also David Bradley from Harry Potter. He was there on the Sunday. I don't know about the other days, but I was thinking about getting a photo with him on Sunday, but he wasn't on the schedule. So I sent him a message and said, can I check what time he is? And I didn't get a fucking reply. I was left on scene. The schedules they released as well for the panels and the photos and the autographs. Autographs for some reason had a schedule, which is weird because every other convention it's either they're at a photo or they're not. So you go at any time, which was actually the case. So it was pointless having a schedule. They were printed. They were on the website and they were black with white letters. So I had to invert it. Bearing in mind the website and the FAQs for this were specifically for this convention. It wasn't for the whole company. So is there a cloakroom in the FAQs? Check this with the venue here, and the here linked to the XL homepage. When they put that amount of effort in, the same amount of effort could have been to find out that there was a fucking cloakroom, because either there is one or there isn't. The schedules that were in black as well, they weren't in any sort of order. They weren't alphabetical and they weren't from early to late. So I don't know who put that together. Another thing that royally fucked up was the critical role actors had autographs pre-sold, and I was one of the people that was on the computer for hours trying to fucking buy one. I was trying to buy Matt Mercer. I'm a major fan of Fallout and Overwatch. After 2.5 hours, 3 hours, because I remember trying for a good hour, getting told off by my bank because I kept trying, going to have a bath and then coming back and it was almost ready. They'd closed the website. But yeah, so many people were trying at the same time. It was crushing. It was not able to deal with it. And also on the tickets that you have to print out, it says, please print out this page. It doesn't say, you could also show it on your phone to save paper and ink. So I'm going to stop whinging for a while now and just tell you some of my experiences. On the Friday, I got ready, got my cosplay all done. I'm going to make a separate video on the cosplay because I had a lot of questions about different pieces of it, and I just want to tell people about the quality and what I had to do and things like that. That might be helpful to some people. That will be helpful to some people. So I went to the convention, and pretty much as soon as I left my hotel, I was stopped and asked for a photo. So I thought, right, okay, at least I look accurate enough and good enough for that. And it happened so many times throughout Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I was me, so I chose that day because I knew I'd be exhausted. One of the first things I had on the Friday was a photo with Kane Hodder, who is best known as the most famous Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th movies. And I've seen a lot of pictures from him at conventions where he's choking people like Jason does. And I thought I'd be unusual and say, would you mind if I pretended to choke you? And he was a true gentleman, like he shook my hand when I approached him. He was listening and he sounded like he actually was grateful that I'd asked for something different. And here it is, it turned out perfect. So at this convention, I've made lots of friends, and I've made friends, people that I felt completely comfortable talking to as though I had already known them. I'm a really awkward person. I don't really talk to strangers. I don't really talk to people I know, to be honest. So it was really out of my comfort zone. But I think cosplay helped because I was somebody else. For one thing, I was able to be somebody I love. But also, when you talk to other people, you've automatically got something to connect you. Instead of trying to start a conversation and then looking for something you have in common, somebody will go, oh my god, it's Steve, I can have a photo with you. And it goes from there. You might start talking about who your mains are, who you hate, what you play on, and then what you doing now? Let's go and hang out together. Oh my god, should we go get some food? It's really cool to do that, and this has been the best convention for that, and it's made me think in the future I'll do more cosplay because it was so much fun. I know I'm going to miss loads out in this video and things that are probably actually useful. So check the description just in case they say, oh my god, this was wrong or whatever. The reason I booked this convention was for Overwatch, mainly. Matt Mercer and Charlotte Chung, who is Debo, who was the reason I was cosplaying, and she wasn't able to go eventually, so I was so upset. No, so the first day was pretty much just getting settled in and having loads of pictures taken of me. Day 2, Saturday, was the big day, the really hectic day when everybody's there, sold out. I also went to the Overwatch meetup on the Saturday and we had some sort of more professional photos taken, as well as meeting loads of people that you had something big in common with. And it was really fun. I made some more friends. So on Saturday, my first photo was at 12, I think, with Matt Mercer. But for Matt, I had a pose in mind. So I made a sign for it and it turned out better than I expected. I was in the queue and I was getting really anxious and I was talking to the guys behind me who were super nice. They'll hold anything I need to or catch me if I faint. Just helping me, reminding me to breathe. That was really helpful. If you ever see me at a future convention and I'm getting anxious, remind me to breathe because I really do stop breathing for some reason. If you've got anxiety, you'll know what I mean. It's like you sort of hold your breath like you're scared of something. And it didn't help that I had sort of this waist pulling thing that was not really helping me to breathe. I was able to breathe, but chest-wise instead of belly-wise. And then when it was my turn, I sort of turned into that hi sort of person that I get. I think I shook his hand and then I was explained, do you want me, is it okay if I hold up this sign? And he looked and he read it and he laughed and I was like, yay, at least he likes it. And he's totally up for it. And I said, I don't know if you have like a dead face. And I didn't see what he did, but I tried to hold the thing up as sort of best I could and I had my gun pointed. And it was better than I could have ever imagined. It's so good, look. I think I have a clip now of Sunday morning when I wasn't so happy, and I'm going to explain a couple of things just to get that out of the way.
Hey, my hair's in plaits because I'm doing waves today. It's Sunday morning and I'm not feeling fantastic, both physically and unfortunately emotionally. It's possibly, you know, the way some people get post-comp blues. Today's the day that I'm not in cosplay, so I know that I'm going to be shy and not really talk to anyone. So yeah, I just keep noticing and thinking about little things that have gone wrong or imperfect. One of the things is for 2 of my photo shoots yesterday, I had a prop sign, and anyone that's probably thought it's not that impressive, but it took me about 5 hours to make. I had to paint it about 4 times, and I dried out my Sharpies on the other side. And during the Overwatch meetup, when everyone puts their bags in the middle, somebody put a cup like next to it or just chucked a cup down, and they've ruined the side that I was gonna display in my house. So I'm just a bit unhappy about that. Sorry, okay. The other thing I've been overthinking is a photo I had with Liam O'Brien, who's famous for Critical Role. I know nothing about Critical Role, I've never seen it. I was there for Fallout. I know him from the Far Harbour DLC, he's Alan Lee, and so I brought the sign to do a photo. I thought it'd be hilarious, like a mischievous diva holding up that sign, and he could just turn like pissed off. So when I got to the front and it was like me next, the person in front of me had amazing cosplay, and so he was sort of taking extra time with her, which is fine, I admired her as well. But it was the photographer sort of, I've seen this before, but this was really like disrespectful. He went like this to me, come on, come on. He wasn't even facing me, I was there. I stepped onto the blue part. He was facing the girl, and then she was like leaving to go and get a photo, but he sort of stopped her and continued the conversation. The photographer 3 fucking times was gesturing, come on, move forward, go, it's your turn. And he wasn't even fucking facing me yet. So how was I supposed to shake his hand? He was shaking everybody's hand before as well. And then describe what I wanted to do with my prop, and then pose and get it all right. No. Just get in there, you fucking cattle. Jesus Christ. All of our time is as equally as important as everybody else's, so it really pisses me off. He was looking at me like I was the one holding everyone up. Nobody was fucking holding everyone up. If he wants to talk to her for 10 seconds, he fucking can. Just don't fucking look at me like I'm not moving on. So after we had even passed that bit, I was also partly on a high from how fantastic my Matt Mercer photo was an hour before. I did the perfect photo. He was wonderful. He did even better than I had pictured. And then the room applauded afterwards, so I was like, yay, this is just brilliant. It was great. But you can't have them all. I'm trying to remember. I've got some fantastic photos, and there's always going to be at least one. When I was at London Film and Comic Con, there was one picture that nobody has seen. So I was edging forward. When he was done with that girl, he turned around and looked at me. I can't remember what interaction we sort of had, but he was shaking everyone's hand, and my right hand was holding the sign. I was doing this because I wanted to make sure I was holding the exact place that, you know, so that I wasn't sort of accidentally grabbing the wrong bit. So I was holding that ready, and also out of respect for the photographer, because I knew he was going to be trying to make me hurry up. So look, I'm ready, I'm holding it in the right fucking place. It's not me. But he held out his right hand to shake my hand, and my right hand was busy, and I was like sort of flustered then, so I held up my left hand and gave him a moment to sort of swap hands, but he still had his right hand held out, so the photographer was giving me this attitude, trying to make me hurry up when I fucking couldn't. So I just shook his hand wrong, like upside down, and then I was trying to explain, are you okay if I hold this sign up? And I don't know if you want to look sort of disapproving or something, because Alan Lee would be really pissed off. And he looked and said, yep, that's fine. And then he said, hang on, and he read it properly. And I just went, yep. And then, like, this is the picture. And he just looks a little bit confused. And I think that's how it is. I don't think he realised that I don't know him from Critical Role, that he's Fallout for me. I know he wasn't a major role, but I thought he would get it, because I've seen him dressed in like a Vault suit, so I thought he was a Fallout fan. And also the way I'm posed, I'm supposed to be like mischievous, chuckling, but it looks like I'm sort of wiping my nose. It's not a terrible photo, it's just sort of the interaction and the build up didn't go like I wanted it to. There was another thing that I didn't really like, but it was more like, okay then, rather than upset or pissed off. There was one person at the Overwatch meet, everybody was wonderful at the Overwatch meet, but there was this one person that was slightly off. They were in cosplay and their attitude was a bit like they were looking at other people and thinking that they were better. I appreciate all levels of cosplay because everybody has a different budget, everybody's a different shape and size, ethnicity, it doesn't matter, that's the whole point. You're pretending to be somebody else and you have the freedom to do that here. I was talking to somebody and they sort of were looking up and down. They were dressed as the same person. They were being nice, but they sort of like compared themselves, well my gun lights up, but it wasn't like a, oh look how cool this is, mine actually lights up, I got it from so-and-so website or whatever. It was like a, mine's better because it does this. It's just a bit weird, that's just what I thought. I'm gonna go and get ready now. Thank you if you're any of the people who've made this time amazing.
Okay, so I can't stop coughing, so I'm gonna have to try and get through the rest of this video. Sunday, first photo op, Veronica Taylor. I met her on the Friday when I was in Diva cosplay, and I bought a 40 quid Game Boy Advance SP Pikachu, and I asked her to sign that, and she was really happy to, and she gave me a trainer card that she has made. It's a business card, but they made it. I don't know, I think the lady that was with her might have been her daughter, because she said like we made it. I think there's a family relation there, but that was so cute, and she was absolutely lovely. And she wrote on my DS with Sharpie, it's in my photo, I had a photo with her Sunday which turned out perfectly. This is it. So it was written with Sharpie and it's completely fine. It hasn't smeared whatsoever. So if you ever want to get this sort of thing signed, Sharpie does work on it. The next person I met on Sunday was, I had a photo with Nolan North, who is a big flipping deal. I don't think a lot of the people there realise how big a deal he is. He is huge. He has done fucking every game ever. So he's, for me, his big one is Desmond Miles in Assassin's Creed, but he's Nathan Drake in Uncharted. He's even done background voices in Rick and Morty. He was August in Tales from the Borderlands. He was in like Saints Row. He's fucking done everything. He's done hundreds of things. If you're a gamer, there's something he's voiced that you will know. So I was really happy to get a nice photo with him. I didn't have a pose in mind, so I just said to him, can I please have a big hug? Like, you're welcome to squish me if you want. And he was like, I'm going to squish you. And he gave me a big old squish and sort of released some of the anxiety. So that was also nice. And then I had a photo with Ray Santiago, who is famous for Ash vs Evil Dead, which I haven't yet seen, but it sounds like it's my sort of thing. But I know him, I mean, everybody knows him from Meet the Fockers as well. From My Name is Earl, he's Catalina's little brother. The queues to get into the actual place were fine. I had a weekend wristband, and you had to sort of queue properly the first day. I got there sort of, they had been open for about an hour for priority people, so you queue for the bag check, and then we went round to get the wristband done. And on the second and the third day we had a separate way to enter, so we saw, I say we, I was on my own, so I don't know what I mean we, the people that had wristbands saw like the big queue to get in, but we were able to cut through and just go straight to a separate bag search, go straight into the con, so we weren't even waiting at all. And the longest I had to actually wait was probably for Matt Mercer's photo. No, his autograph on the Sunday. My God, loads of us were waiting for ages. Luckily, I had a friend with me who was chatting to me, otherwise I would have gone mental. He was also keeping me calm when I was starting to get anxious, so that was really helpful. And then we went to go and play Smash Bros, I think, afterwards. We went to play a game, and I was laughing my head off. I had never played it before, and I was just finding it really funny, just the way the characters move, like, you know, when they sort of stand on the edge of a cliff and they're sort of doing the wobbly thing. I don't know why that was so funny. So he was trying to smack the shit out of me, and I was laughing at that. Oh, and as for vendors, some of them you can haggle with. So do not do that with any sort of artist, any comic artist or artist. Don't do it with that. But with, like, there was a Japanese store and there was a little tiny notebook that was £4, and I bought a Gudetama post-it thing and a pin. So that would have been a couple of pounds extra, but because it was mental price, and I heard the bloke next to me do it first, which is why I sort of said, how much is this? And they said, oh, it's this. He said £4 for one of the pins, and I was like, oh, never mind. And he said, oh, I'll do it if you want to get 2 of them for this. And I was like, no, there's only really one I want. And I ended up having all 3 of them for £7. So it was still sort of pricey, but it wasn't convention pricey. So another thing, when you're in cosplay, I found it really helpful to make up these sort of business cards or like social media cards and give them to anybody that doesn't sort of have their phone out already to check your Instagram or whatever. So I had me as Diva so that people knew who I was, and that means people can sort of come and find you and tag you or send you an email or whatever. So I can't remember anything else at the moment that's it of importance. So I'm going to stop there. Check my video on my Diva cosplay if that interests you. And I might make one on the hotel because I've got loads to say about the hotel, but I didn't want to put it in this one, so that might exist. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my gaming videos if that interests you. I've got other convention videos that might interest you, some of which I vlog at, and subscribe for any future conventions or gaming videos if I can get my capture card to work. Bye. Is it going in and out? Can you see this? Oh my god, I've got 29 Facebook notifications. I usually have the odd 1 or 2. I got home 3 hours ago and I haven't done anything. Oh shit! I've just realised I've left my cool box unplugged. We're okay! Too much. Well, you know. Forget that. Edit that out.